Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel. I'm working on a title page layout. That's what I'm calling it. So it would be the first page in a scrapbooking album. I'm working on an album for my nephew. I think I mentioned it before. If you're a subscriber of my channel, you already know this. And if you're not, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of these layouts. But basically, the wedding tones were navy blue and orange, like a burnt orange. Very pretty, very natural colors. So I did a bunch of base pages, but this one was a little different because it's a single layout. So what I did is I just used a wild salmon colored solid cardstock for the base, and now I'm cutting this gorgeous gold shimmer wood grain paper. Sorry, it took me a minute to what I was going to say. And I cut that down an inch on two sides, which made it an 11 by 11 inch square. Now, a lot of times I'll gut the base page or that base cardstock, but this time I chose not to because I have a lot of this color, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm following a inspiration from Scrapbooking with Anne Marie website, and I'll have a link down below in the information box. But she does a bunch of she has a free membership and also a paid membership, and there's a whole bunch of tutorials, sketches, contests, just a bunch of stuff. And this was inspired by that. So I'm cutting down a 1/4 of an inch by 12-inch strips. Now I probably should have just did the whole 12 by 12 inch paper and then scooted along every 1/4 inch. Instead, I cut 1 inch off and then cut my 1/4 inch strips. It worked, but it was a little difficult to keep on the cutter, just so I wouldn't to make sure I had a straight cut. But so basically I put two going vertical, and then also two going horizontal, which you see me kind of messing with this. In my mind, it kind of reminds me of like pickup sticks or something, but it just adds a little bit of something, and I just love it. So it has that, like I said, that orange tone, the gold, and also the navy blue, which is perfect for these photos. Now, I took photos of my nephews. They had some signs that they did. It was a very DIY wedding, which I absolutely love. My nephew created these signs that they had out on the street and also right by the in the where the wedding venue was. And so I took a picture of both of those. I'm trimming the photos down because at first I was just sticking to the 4x6, but then all that white and extra stuff I didn't need. I was really just focusing on these signs. Again, this is the title sheet or the cover page, I don't know what you want to call it, for the beginning of the album. So originally I was just kind of sticking to this layout, using those two photos. That's it. And you'll see later that changed. So I went ahead and removed everything because I like the way it looks. I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on the back. I'm using my double-sided tape, my ATG gun for the big piece of paper, and I'll be using liquid adhesive for these 1/4 inch strips, which worked out perfect since it was so thin. I used the Nuvo liquid adhesive. It seems to be my favorite. I probably like that more than any other liquid glue that I tried, but there's so many different brands out there and they're all wonderful. But again, I just put two vertical, which I'm doing right now, again just using some liquid glue, and really just kind of plop them down. I had them overlapping a little bit. Now before I put the last of the 4 down, I put the photos there because I wanted to make sure I didn't have that strip going too far up or too far down. I wanted to kind of balance with the photos. So on the sketch or the inspiration part, they had little like scallop circles on that bottom going horizontal, and then also to the left on the vertical, but I didn't really want to add that. I did decide to add white mats to the photos, which you can see here. I had some already cut down pieces on my desk, and as you can tell, they are still a little too big. So once I adhered them down how I wanted them to be, then I pulled my cutter out to go ahead and trim those down till they were matched on all 4 sides. Super easy. I eyeball everything, so it's probably not perfectly matched, but it's matched enough as far as the dimensions around or the borders around the photos. But it's so funny that just matting your photos makes a huge difference. And I don't know if you can remember, maybe you can hit pause and reverse, but if you look at how it looked or how the photos looked straight down on the that gold or golden wood grain paper compared to just a little white border around them. It's amazing how much of a big difference it is. So once I do that, I go ahead and adhere those down just using the double-sided tape. Now I'm still a little unsure because even though I've got some great color, I mean, I've got gold metallic, it looks gorgeous. 2 photos, I kind of got all the stuff right. And I still think, okay, it still is a little plain. So I do have a container that I have all of the different papers, different embellishments, different items that I'm going to be using or that I can be using for this scrapbook. So everything coordinates, it's all in the same spot. I did the same thing when I worked on both of my sons' wedding albums. It really does help me that everything's in the same place instead of, digging around trying to find things. So I'm deciding and I'm thinking, I'm going to put something horizontally, and then I completely change my mind and just do a little, I'm going to call it a cluster, but it's really not a cluster right there above that one photo. So I bought those gold trimmed tags on a clearance at Michael's, and there's a whole bunch of different shapes and I love them. So I put that there, and then I pulled out this washi tape, and it was hard to tell, but it has gold writing. It just says love, 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 love all the way across, and again in gold. And I thought that was just enough to add a little something without really overwhelming. And it fit perfectly in the middle of those 4-inch strips. I only did it on the one. I may go back and do the other ones, but I'm not sure. I went ahead and adhered that arrow or that tag. And then that little tulle fluffy thing is from Queen and Company. So pretty. Just a little extra little puff and pretty right there. But that's basically it. I think I'm going to write something on that tag. I just wasn't sure what yet, so that's why I left it blank for now. But this is pretty much it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I do post 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking, and the other is whatever it is I'm doing in the command center, which is the name of my blog and craft room. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. So after I thought I was done with this layout, I realized I still just was not loving it. Something was missing. So I decided I was going to make another embellishment piece. Now, I did these before when I did my other son's, or one of my sons' wedding album. But basically, I've punched out a heart, and I'm going to place strips of fringed paper, and so it's like a fringed heart. It's so super cute, and especially using the colors or the papers that you're using for the scrapbook, it really coordinates well. And of course, hearts, that always goes with a wedding theme. But basically, you just cut strips of paper, and then you fringe the bottom. Now, I have a pair of fringe scissors, but you could definitely use regular scissors and just, like I said, cut some fringes on them. Again, I just used scraps that I had already in that container that I mentioned earlier, that I have all of my embellishments, paper, washi, everything for this particular album all in one place. It really does make it easier. Now, really what I should have did is I should have made a few of these, or at least a couple of these, because I know I'm going to use these hearts for more layouts. But once I layered it all up, then I cut around the heart. So now you can see the heart, and in a minute I'm going to turn it around and you can see the fringed heart. So I do need to add something to that top, so I did grab some washi tape, which are just really small gold hearts. Now you and I both know that more than likely washi tape is pretty transparent, but it's okay because I wanted some of that blue to come through. But if I didn't want it, I would have put that on white cardstock and then just use it almost as if it was a piece of paper. So I decided to add it down there on that right, which gives me like a diagonal look on the embellishments. So there was a little tiny heart that gets part of that punched out, a part of that big heart punch, and then here I am punching more hearts. And then when I add them, I just like them so much better. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm still not 100% loving it, but it is the title page. I'm not trying to spend a lot of time on it, but this diagonal look of embellishments really does improve it, in my opinion, and I hope you agree. And you'll see pictures of the layout before and after. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. Bye.